Happy holidays, friends! We are unofficially in like the last few days of December, going into 2022 very soon. Happy holidays to all of you, and thank you so much for joining us. It is so wonderful to have you here within the loop. Greg and I have a lot of fun things saved up for you on this special episode of In the Loop with Winnie and Greg. Hello, I'm Winnie's son, longtime financial pro, CNBC council member, Forbes contributor, and a whole bunch more. But you know what? I'm really excited because I get to see Greg again on our different day. Greg, this is a different kind of like setup, right? I mean, what they say today's Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, but it feels weird this week because I keep thinking tomorrow is Christmas Eve. It's not tomorrow. It's screwed up everything. So it's a Wednesday, but it feels like any day. It could be any day right now. Hello everyone.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, thanks. I'm so excited to be here too. And it's good to see everybody joining in the chat. I'm Greg Nibbler, in case you don't know, longtime tech reporter, excited to be here. And we are live. We've got some fun stuff to talk about today too. We've got some trivia coming up. We've got some tech facts about the end of the year. I've got some advice on how to get something that about everybody wants, it seems like. So all that's coming up on the show today. And we're live. So drop in your comments. Let us know what you think, what you're talking about, what your opinions are, because that's always the fun of doing it live with everybody. And as always, Winnie starts it off by filling us up to date with what is going on in the world of finance and all of that, which is why I look forward to this every week.
Thank you, Greg. You're going to share some advice, Greg. I'm definitely staying for that. So you definitely want to hang out with us throughout the show because let's see what Greg's tip is going to be. I bet you it's going to be like so meaningful. So I'm super excited. We got trivia. Right? It's going great. But let's start with the sort of the serious stuff. Let's talk about how the market closed today. Now, there's some good news. I think you're going to be happy to hear that. Triple update. In fact, the Dow closed up 264 points. The Nasdaq also up 173 big ones, and the S&P also up 46. We will take it. We'll take as many updates as we can. Now, the stock market did quite well today. As you know, it rebounded from its earlier 3-day losing streak as more investors continue to be very worried about the pandemic, about this Omicron variant causing all sorts of problems. I know in many parts of the nation. I've been talking to clients all this week, and a lot of people are really, really concerned. Now, the FDA also did share some good news, though, today on Pfizer's COVID pill. Now, they have given and granted emergency use authorization. Now, this is going to be the first antiviral drug against the virus, which is going to be for home use. So we'll see. Investors certainly seem to like that news, hoping that things can get back to normal, sooner rather than later. Interesting enough, though, December is usually the calmest month and actually one of the quietest months for the financial markets, but that's certainly been very much far from what it's been happening this month. This month has turned out to be actually the most volatile month of 2021. So you know what? A whole bunch of change coming this year. Now, on other news that they was announced this week, as you know, since for those of you who have student loans, or you have loved ones who have student loans or clients that have student loans like I do, since March of 2020, borrowers have been given the option to, let their student loans be on pause. So that way that these monthly bills don't accrue additional interest, and on the student debt, you have more time to pay. So the forbearance was scheduled to expire at the end of next month or on January 31st, if you will. But that's been changed now. The Biden administration extending the payment pause and interest waiver for most federal student loan borrowers for another 3 months. Now, this delay is going to start once again, but they're saying because of the Omicron surge, they know that a lot of students, a lot of recent graduates are having trouble making those payments. In fact, student loan now has exceeded $1.7 trillion, and they're saying a lot of borrowers are saying that they just can't make ends meet. It's very, very challenging for them. The average monthly bill on these student loans is about $400 per month. So it's quite a bit. In fact, a recent poll showed that borrowers found that even among those who are fully employed, that 89% are still not financially secure enough to feel like they can restart and make those payments. So a lot of people feeling that stress. And since the government hasn't figured out a really good solution for that, Now it's going to be on pause until May 1st. Now, on positive news, though, you might say that Santa Claus is back in town because earlier this year, we were talking about more concerns about supply chains. And I'm guessing that Greg might talk about this later on. But with supply chains, we're seeing some good news. In fact, we were all worried about we wouldn't be able to get toys in stock. We're talking about worries about a lot of things not coming because, supply chains issues. And they're saying that actually a lot of it has been fears that hasn't come out to be true. In fact, Fred Smith, the CEO of FedEx, said that FedEx has managed to move over 100 million packages during the weekend following Thanksgiving. So this is certainly a peak of the season, and they're doing really well. In fact, President Biden joked that Smith is actually AKA Santa Claus for a lot of Americans because a lot of shelves are not empty. A lot of toys have made their way. And so things look, we'll take it. We'll take the good news for where it is. Now, in other news, we're also seeing that record levels of you perhaps are traveling. In fact, the TSA has reported that roughly over 2 million passengers have passed through TSA checkpoints on December 20th, which is up from 954,000 the same day last year. So more than double people are now making their way back to travel, back to the airport, and getting back to traveling. Now, whether or not it's safe to travel is a whole nother issue. And I thought I'd share this with you because this was news that came out that said that Omicron at least doubles the risk of getting infected on a plane. And I share this with Greg. So I'm most concerned making sure that Greg is safe. And I know Greg was thinking about going to CES next month, but they're saying that if you're going to travel, if you're going to get on a plane, it's actually considered safer to fly on business class, they say, than economy because you have a little bit of room to yourself. This came from David Powell, who's a physician and medical advisor to the International Air Transport Association, the IATA, and they represent about 300 carriers. So they're saying rule of thumb is if you're going to be flying, just think about it as this. As it pertains to the Omicron variant, if you got 2 doses, right? Omicron basically makes it so that technically you only got 1 dose. So they said, think about it that way. So if you get your booster, which is your 3rd shot, that's like having 2 shots when it comes to Delta. So it's like basically Omicron deletes one of your doses. So it only counts as you got 1 dose or 2 doses, which kind of depressing in some ways, Greg. But let's go to some positive news. And I think it's time for some holiday trivia that we prepared. But what do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I'm all for the trivia. You brought up CES just to talk about that really quick. There's a bunch of companies that are backing out of that now. As we were talking about before the show off the air, just a lot of companies are I think, questioning what's going on and whether or not they're going to. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of virtual. So it's an active thing as far as what's happening with it. I'll definitely be reporting on CES. I don't think I'm probably going to be there. I think it's safe to say that unless something drastically changes, I'm probably not going to go in person this year, especially because the companies aren't either. And some of that stuff you said is flying and everything else.
I guess you could get your private plane or something, or wear a bubble suit.
That's true. Yes, I assume everybody assumes I have a private plane. But,
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't know. I haven't ever been on one. I wonder how they is. I saw a picture of one. I saw someone had a sofa in one, but
yeah. Well, I'm all for it. If anybody has a private plane that's watching and wants to take me for a ride, to Vegas, I am very amenable to that. So we can discuss that.
Richard Branson to the rescue.
Yeah, right. You want to take me to space? That's good too. But in the meantime, we do have some trivia. We've got some holiday trivia that we came up with.
We do have some trivia. And yeah, so I'll key it up here. So we have some holiday trivia. We want you to go ahead and kick in and see what you think the answer is. But here's our first question. In total, how much are people here in the United States spending this holiday season? And for Vicky, because you're joining us from the other side of the pond, maybe you could guess. What do you think? Do you think Americans are spending a whole bunch this season, or do you think they're going to actually be pulling back a bit? But how much are people going to be spending? Greg, do you know? I feel like this is a big number.
Yeah, it's a big number. It's got to be huge. I don't think it's $7 trillion. That seems a bit high. I actually don't know what the answer is to this. And so I'm not really sure. I would have to guess. Seeing some comments come in. So CrossX Fighter says 860 billion. That seems like a good guess, although that's still a really high number, though.
That's a really big number. And Vicky is saying 200 million. So that's also a big number, but not quite as big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky, there's a lot of shopping going out here in the United States. Yeah, the malls are still packed. I think Robin Stevens joins from LinkedIn Live, and I think you would agree, right, Robin? The malls are pretty packed this season. Well, the answer to this is actually, we should actually have a drum roll, but we don't have a drum roll. But the answer is in fact what Joshua is saying is right. It's E, and Robin I think said E as well. We 860 billion big ones. After seeing overall holiday sales increase 8.2% in 2020, the National Retail Federation says that they expect Americans to spend even more. From 8.5% to 10.5% more this holiday season. Wow, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I mean, I suppose that's a good sign, right? Wouldn't it be for the economy that people are spending that much?
Yeah, that is a lot. That's a good sign. I mean, let me ask you, how many of you are going to be contributing to that?
Talk about finances. Yeah, that seems like it's a good thing.
Well, I don't know. I guess so. I guess, right, because we're helping boost the economy, but
right.
But I'd be okay. But I'd be okay if you don't spend money this holiday season as your financial friend. If you want to keep it, I'm good with that. When I actually did a call earlier today, and they said, when I'm thinking about making a donation, I said, great. And then they said, how much can I make for a tax deduction? And I was like, well, that's a different story sometimes because you can't get as much of a deduction. But yeah, those are some discussions you can think about at the end of the year, like how much are you spending, how much are you giving, all that good stuff. All right, so let's go to question number 2, and that is, in the U.S., what's the average amount of spending on holiday gifts this year? I'm really curious, Greg, how this compares to how much you spend and certainly how much I spend. How much do all of you spend? Like Vicky, how much are you going to spend? Like CrossX Fighter, Robin, how much do you think you're going to spend this holiday season on gifts? And we know that we all want to be really generous, but also be really smart about not.
Right.
I think I've learned that like your loved ones, the people who really matter to you, they don't really worry about gifts so much. They just want you to be happy and healthy, and that includes financially healthy. And they actually like spending time with you and talking to you and having that, in-person like relation time together, but less so about the monetary amount that you spend, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is for me on my end. But I still, you still end up, even just little things, it adds up just buying gifts. And I would think, if this counts, for an average, I guess this includes people with kids like you. So that certainly must be exponentially larger than what I would need to spend.
300% more.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a bit more.
Now, I got to make a comment about this trivia question, though, Greg, because like, what's up? Who did this? Because A and E are so close. That
it is. It's we got a Price is Right situation.
You're
going on
really
here.
Throwing us in for a loop here, Curtis. But I love it.
Yeah. What were people saying? I'm just curious what the answers that they think. I would say I'm going to go with A. Even though, we're thrown, if I'm wrong and it's E, then that would be disappointing. But I think A. I think it's $1,000.
Okay. And then so Greg, how much do you think you'll be spending this year?
Probably B. I would say around there.
See, I think I'm going to be spending, because I already know what Santa picked up. So I'm thinking I'm closer to probably A or E. Yeah, I think I'm right around E right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did do is on this, I don't know if you've done this. So my business partner and my business partner has always been very generous with me, and I've always been very generous to him. But we made a pact, like I think when we started working together almost 15 years ago, that we would not exchange Christmas gifts because that just gets out of hand, like
yeah, it really can.
Yeah. So I try to make that pact with also my best friend and her kids and my kids. It's like, we just want to like hang out. We don't really need gifts.
Yep. I did the same thing with my brother. He's in California. If we're lucky if we get to see each other around Christmas, we're like, we don't need the gift. Let's just hang out and
It's just hanging out. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I feel like it's that should be a good trend where like that's that we just basically share memories and all that good stuff. But yeah, so cool. So let's see who everybody guessing. Okay, so I think Cross-X Fighter is saying also 998 is too close to 1,000. Agreed. I know, right? So Cross-X Fighter is A. So it's almost like you should get A and E, right? Like they should be the same. Vicky is saying B. She's guessing 775, and she's saying small family. And Robin is also saying total Price is Right, going with A. All right. So the answer to this, Greg, wait, drum roll. Yeah, Greg's the musician one. All right. The answer is in fact, my friends, E. So E.
What's E? Oh man.
Average amount that consumers expect to spend on winter holidays in 2021. E. Is I feel like those of you who got A, like if this was a test, we would basically give it to you because it's just so close. Right?
Yeah.
It's just that close. I know. Vicky is laughing too. I know. It's funny. It's crazy.
That is funny. All right. Well, we do have another one. So this one going into the more tech side, which I know I've got some information about some of this stuff coming up here in a minute too. But this next question, I'll be interested to see what people say. So here's what it is. So what is the most desired tech item for this holiday season? The most desired tech item. So you got A, Nintendo Switch, the OLED one, which is the new one, PlayStation 5, Apple AirPods 3, Philips Hue smart bulbs. That's actually, there's a lot of people getting into that. Or the Xbox Series X or S. This is a tough question because all of those are very popular.
That is a tough question.
Winnie, which one would you guess on this?
Okay.
If you'd venture.
Well, I'm a big fan of Cross-X Fighter and Joshua. So Joshua saying A, Nintendo Switch OLED. Robin is saying A, Tesla. I didn't know A was a Tesla. Then I'm going with Tesla for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely going over $1,000 though for Christmas budget.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, forget it. All right, you know what? I gotta. So but if Joshua didn't say Nintendo, I probably would have guessed the Philips Hue smart bulbs only because it's the least expensive item on the list, and not everybody's a gamer, but everybody probably uses light bulbs.
Yeah.
And then I think AirPods 3, like I think that's such an expensive thing. I feel like that's sort of a luxury. Oh, Robin's saying her wish is a Tesla. Okay, I gotcha. All right, so I feel like AirPods is sort of luxury. So I probably would go with D, the smart bulbs.
They definitely are the least expensive item on that list for which one people will go with. See, Vicky says C, so she says the Apple AirPods 3 will be one of the most desired. So the answer actually is, if everybody's ready, is B. There we go. The PlayStation 5, which is something that is so hard to get a hold of. And that's why, everybody's been wanting that for the last year.
Greg probably has it.
I do not have it. I actually don't. And it's so hard to get a hold of. But I do have some advice for that. After we're done with trivia, I've got some advice for everybody out there who is wanting to get the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox on some ways you can help yourself out as far as being able to get it. There's some tips. It's not going to guarantee you're going to get one, but there's some tips and things you can do to make it a little bit easier on yourself, or maybe give yourself a little bit of an advantage to get a hold of those. But yeah, PlayStation 5. And,
I did hear some Amex. I'll tell the Amex tip after you tell your tip, because I learned it from one of my my
nice
community things too.
Yeah.
Oh,
perfect.
Interesting. Well, that's interesting. So that is I guess that makes sense, Greg. There must be, because I guess people want to play games, and also I guess you can use it as a player, right? For other things?
You can use it for about everything. I mean, it's a pretty amazing machine. I mean, the newer games that are going to really utilize all those graphics haven't really come out yet that are fully using the capabilities, but it's a pretty awesome. I'm saying I would definitely take one if we're available. Not that I have enough time to even play the new games yet. I'm still on the old games on my PlayStation 4, but I'll take one.
Okay, Sony, if you're listening, Okay, Sony, if you're listening, just so you know, I have Greg's mailing address.
Yes.
So if you want to send us a direct message to Greg or myself, I'm happy to give you Greg's mailing address, Sony. Earth
And
to
I will
Sony.
talk all about PlayStation. That
Yeah,
was
he'll talk about PlayStation. Maybe we'll even have him play on air.
There we go.
Be
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yep.
I think while we're doing that, Greg, I feel like, in the holiday spirit, we should also ask Tesla to send Robin Stevens
Yes.
a Tesla, because she said that she would like a Tesla. So she had said A, so since you're all asking, you might as well say, like,
Yeah.
tell us, we might as well just put it out into the universe what you want. So that we're in the holiday spirit. So Vicky, if you want to tell us what you would want for the what do you want
Yeah.
Santa Claus to bring you?
Holiday
City?
tech wishes. Yeah.
Joshua, Cross-X Fighter, yeah, let us know. I mean, that's a good one. We don't have to talk about. We want to know what you want for the holidays.
Yeah.
Now, we're not saying we can actually, do this. We're Greg isn't Santa. I'm not like Santa's co-host either. So, but we can at least put it out. All right, let's go to question 4, because this is a good one
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
And
So,
this is,
go ahead.
oh no, you go ahead.
Okay, I will do it. It is this. So, how many people were online shopping this year worldwide? How many people? So you got to think about, that's also I see the E 1 trillion. I'm gonna guess it's not 1 trillion, but we've got A 3 billion, B 1.2 billion, C 2.14 billion, or B 7 billion, or D 7 billion. So
these are really close numbers, Greg.
Yeah. I feel like we're in the A, B, and C range of things. But yeah, again, that's a really tough one to
Online
answer.
shopping. I feel like if you're on the internet, you probably do online shopping.
Yeah,
I'm
in
curious to
some
see
way,
how
shape, or
many of,
form.
yeah. Let me ask you, for those of you joining us, obviously you're all online because you're with us. Do you know anybody who's online who doesn't do online shopping? So I almost feel like this number should basically be the same as people who are online, but maybe not.
Yeah, that's a good equation. Because yeah, you would think if anybody is on there. So looking at it, we've got A 3 billion, B 1.2. Vicky says D 7 billion. Robin says A 3 billion.
3 billion.
I feel like A. I feel like A is correct also. I feel like A 3
and
billion.
Robin, you can buy a Tesla online. So I mean, if you're doing your holiday, shopping, if anybody deserves one, Robin, you deserve one. So Reginald says A as well. Okay, 3 billion. That's a big number. Let's see. Cross-X Fighter saying B, which is 1.2 billion. Yeah, this is a tough one. I agree.
Yeah, because you got to think about everybody's. Everybody has to have ready access to the internet in order to do it.
Yeah.
So worldwide, yeah, that's a tough question.
What would, honestly, Greg, I would have totally gotten this wrong because I have no idea. But what is the answer?
The answer is C, 2.14 billion. 2.14 billion. That's the estimate of people worldwide who would purchase goods online.
So this is one of those questions where, just like, when you have to take those state exams or the SAT, they say when you don't know the answer, you go with C.
Yeah.
Because we would end up right in this situation.
Yeah. And that's another one I got wrong. So I'm not really knocking it out of the park so far on the trivia questions. So we've got that. We do have one bonus question. If we want to do a bonus one. And this is
give us a bonus.
Much more themed for the time. And that is, what was the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time? And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a hard one. So you've got A, The Grinch, and to clarify, that's the more recent Grinch movie. You've got B, The Elf, C, The Polar Express, D, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, or E, Home Alone. So you got 2 Grinches on there. And then Elf, Polar Express, Home Alone. I mean, all huge movies.
This is very detailed. You have to, I feel like the fact that there's 2 Grinches.
I know.
You think it's one of the Grinches.
That's what threw me off because I had to remember which movie is which Grinch movie.
Yeah, and then who started these Grinch movies? I feel like we need details here.
I didn't know there were that many Grinch movies, to be honest.
I just found out there's 4 Home Alone movies too.
Yeah, but you don't really want to see the 3rd or 4th one.
I
I'm going to tell
saw,
you
yeah,
right
it was
now.
pretty painful. But so here's the thing is, okay, so let's be really strategic here since we don't know this. The
Yeah.
fact that Home Alone didn't give us a 1, 2, 3, or 4 makes me feel like we can eliminate that option because like it wasn't strong enough to tell us which one. And then
Yeah.
the Polar Express, I feel like that just didn't reach its heyday.
Right. Yeah.
And
That's more niche, I feel like.
yeah, it's niche. Right? And then Elf, wasn't that like a really crazy, ridiculous movie? Because
Oh,
I don't
Elf's
know.
fantastic.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Or
It's so good. So
okay,
good.
so I gotta watch Elf because for some reason I kind of got turned off by the marketing of Elf. But all right, so then I feel like it's either like Grinch, or Elf. What do you
Grinch.
guys think? Okay, the original saying E, Home Alone. Okay, original thinking E.
Okay.
Cross-X Fighters thinking I think there were 3 Grinch movies. Whoa, 3 Grinch. Okay, so okay,
It's a lot
very
of Grinch.
interesting. Okay, Robin is saying E, Home Alone. Wow, we got a lot of Home Alones. Everyone. Okay, Sadiq is saying Home Alone.
Robin's saying Home
The
Alone. Sadiq Home
Amani
Alone.
squad is saying all. Okay. Um, okay.
That's a lot of Home Alone on there.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Cross-X Fighter
Cross-X
going with
Spider is
A.
saying A, which
Um,
is the Grinch, which is Bach. Okay. Elf
Elf.
is wonderful. I cry laughing. Okay. I'm so gonna see the Elf
It's
because I'm
so
so
good.
glad you're
I am honestly surprised. There's a lot of movies that people get surprised that I haven't seen, but Elf is so good.
okay. I'm totally gonna see. I'm so glad everybody is saying that was so good. All right.
Okay, you want the answer?
Yeah, we want the answer.
The answer is A, The Grinch. So it's A. A is the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time. So it grossed $512 million. This is the one that came out in
Wow.
2018. I
Okay,
have not
who's in
seen
the
this.
star?
Again, I get it confused with all the other Grinch movies, but apparently a lot of people went and saw that movie. At least
I haven't seen this.
It was a big Grinch year in 2018.
Okay, I'm definitely watching the Grinch because and add to that.
Highest grossing of all time. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So there we go. Now we all learned something, some trivia for the holidays to tell
Have
everybody.
you seen it, Greg? No.
No.
Okay, so I feel like we
wasn't
need to
even
see it.
aware of it, to be honest. I mean, I knew there was like a Grinch movie at some point, but I've seen the cartoon. I saw the Jim Carrey one. After that, I think I'm kind of out of the loop on the Grinch movies, but now I know.
I love our trivia. I mean, I totally would have guessed Home Alone 1 or 2 too because I love those movies, but like wow. So the Grinch and Elf.
Like Grinch and Elf.
There we go.
There it is. All right. So I do have some advice. So going back to part of that trivia, talking about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox and how to get a hold of those. And I'm excited to hear Winnie's advice also. But these are just kind of some of the tips because there's so many people that want to get a hold of these. And there's also so many scams out there. So be very careful if you're trying to get a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and you see somebody post on Twitter like, hey, I'm giving one away. Just click this link right here. That's probably not true. I'm assuming everybody knows that. But sometimes it's easy to fall victim to some of that stuff. So just be careful of that. What you want to do, though, is, as companies get stock, they'll release it, obviously. And they'll release it. Usually it tends to be, for some reason, in the afternoon or evening when they'll go up. And this is on all the different sites and sometimes even in the case of in-store. But to find out about that and to actually be prepared to buy one, you can take some steps ahead of time to make sure that you're ready. And that is register with each one of these websites like Best Buy, Amazon, Target, everywhere that you think, Walmart. Go in there and set up your free registration account and get your payment information stored in there. So that way, if you are lucky enough to be in there and you click and that one pops up online, you go to buy it. There's sometimes where if you have to take too long to enter in all your information, it could get sold before you even get to click checkout. So if you do that, you can get through that process really quick and try to snag one of these. So that's one advice. There's some other ways too that paid members, if you're Amazon has said that Prime members will get the priority of PlayStation 5 stock when it does go into stock. So they're going to get that over people who are not Amazon Prime members, which kind of makes sense. Walmart sometimes does the same thing with Walmart Plus. That's up to you whether you want to pay extra money just to try to get ahead of the line. But sometimes that will give you more of an advantage. And, they're trying to combat also against people buying up tons of these, bots buying them all. So sometimes if they do say they have stock and it's going on sale at 2 and you go there at 2:01 and it's sold out, stick around for a little bit, because what they'll do sometimes is release them in batches over the course of like a half hour. And that will apparently help control some of the bots going in there and buying them all up. So hit refresh a few times, wait around a few minutes and see if some more come in, if you know that they're going to be releasing them or they announce that they're doing that. So there's a basic tips. And I know that's probably not super helpful to get one. There's no secret website that I know of that secretly has these things, but that will give you at least a better opportunity to get a hold of them.
These are great tips, Greg. I love these tips. That's awesome. And I think this not only works for the PlayStation, but for all things in general. So that's super smart. Well, I'm going to just piggyback on that because I think these are some of the things that we've been seeing that do very, very well. I'll just add that, like, I agree with everything Greg just said. The other thing I would just say is I would suggest adding your PlayStation right to your shopping cart too, and just leaving it at the store that you think, like he said, Amazon and Best Buy and whatnot. And that way, when you see it, you just have to literally hit, take it. Because sometimes you can't even add it to your cart. But if you can add it to your cart, then you can actually check out. And what Greg said was so true. So one thing that I was reading too is like how Greg said about Amazon paying and Walmart Plus. What they did do, this was on Black Friday, Walmart Plus actually released inventory to their members ahead of time. So you could reserve one console ahead of time, and that way it actually gave you an advantage compared to all the other Walmart shoppers who didn't pay for a membership. So I saw a lot of American Express owners were talking about that because American Express provided a lot of their cardholders Walmart Plus membership for free as part of their card membership. Yeah, I have Walmart Plus because of it. And I found it to be, I've only been using it for the last few weeks, and it's been some significant, like really, really amazing things like literally delivered right to my door or right to my mom's house. She needed a picture frame. So I had those delivered like literally in one day. The other thing I would say is there actually are websites that show inventory of stores such as Walmart and Target. You can just Google inventory sites. Like you can actually probably Google Target inventory, Walmart inventory, and it actually will show the inventory at the stores closest to you. Now, it may not be perfect, right? It might show that there's 8 units, but when you get there, that might be no units. So, you may or may not have this happen, but at least it gives you an idea, like Greg was saying, what time of the day. You can kind of keep track of trends and get a sense if this is something that you really want to get under the tree before Christmas.
That's some great advice right there. So there you go. So now everybody go out there and try to get a PlayStation 5. Now I want to get that. I didn't know you got Walmart Plus for free too with the card, with the MX card. So that's a great tip just in itself. So yeah, everybody happy hunting on that to try to get one of those in. We had a couple other things. I just kind of, wrapping up the year in tech is just kind of taking a look at what some trends are. And there's one that just came out today that, honestly, as popular as this is, it really surprised me. Winnie, let me ask you this, and I don't know if you know this yet or not. What do you think was the most popular domain, the URL domain for people to go to in the world over this last year for 2021? Where did more people go to?
The most popular domain? I feel like it's got to be YouTube, but I mean, I figure it was either YouTube or Google. What do you think?
That's what I would have guessed as well. And that would normally be the right answer. Google is almost always at the top. Okay. This year, TikTok beat Google.
No
TikTok,
way.
The domain TikTok, more people went to TikTok than any other website in the world over 2021. This is coming from Cloudflare, who kind of keeps track of all of this information on where people go. I was just honestly, I know TikTok is
floored.
So popular, but to be that popular.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Greg, because I feel like, so much of the population that are on the internet is not just young people, but like seniors. I didn't think, but I guess, maybe young people are on there so much more that they exceed the Googles and the YouTubes, right?
Yeah. It's just that many people on TikTok, and just especially with the pandemic, so many people going on there. They said, and this accounts for Google also. This includes Google's like suite of applications, maps, translations, flight bookings, news, photos, all that other stuff.
And
all
YouTube?
that's included in their ranking, and TikTok still beat them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Greg,
the
that's
power of TikTok.
bananas.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
So apparently they have hit, as of September, 1 billion monthly active users on the platform. 1 billion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. 1 billion people on there.
And sadly, the financial industry doesn't allow us to be on TikTok.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So take that with a grain of salt if you're getting your financial advice or information on TikTok. The really licensed people aren't allowed on it.
That is a very good tip. Okay. Good to know. I've got some of the other ones. So TikTok was number 1. Google was number 2, followed by Facebook, Microsoft, Apple.
Wow.
Which Microsoft, I was kind of surprised, but I guess they have a lot of things that go through Microsoft. Apple, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp.
I'm surprised Apple too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really interesting how it all works. And I guess you got to think about where people are filtering through, but TikTok is TikTok's the number 1.
Wow.
TikTok is where everybody's at.
TikTok won first place. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's fascinating, Greg.
Yeah, it really is. So there you go. So, but don't get your financial advice on TikTok. So the one other thing I wanted to bring up too, just for tech, and it's something for this week and kind of wrapping up this year. Everybody knows I talk about space a lot. I like rockets. I like talking about space, but I feel like the biggest launch of the year, and maybe even beyond that, is what's happening on Christmas Day that people can watch. And that is the launching of the James Webb Telescope. So this is from NASA, and this is coming up, this Saturday is when you're going to be able, December 25th is when you can watch it live. So just a quick note about this telescope. Maybe people have seen it in the news, but don't understand it. This thing's been in the works since 1996. It was only supposed to take 10 years. It ended up taking 25 years to build. It was supposed to cost, I think about $1 billion. It cost $10 billion. So there's a lot invested in this telescope. And once it goes up, what it's going to be able to do, it's a huge infrared telescope, gold, like with the gold color right there, as you're seeing right here on the screen. And it's going to be able to basically see things that we've never been able to see before, like galaxies that are further away. It's almost like seeing back in time that this is going to allow us to do. We're going to be able to see planets on exoplanets on other star systems, solar systems, much, much better, to maybe even see if there's oceans on them. It's just really exciting, the things that they're going to be able to do, but they've got to get it up there first. And that is what's happening on Saturday that everybody can watch. I think it starts about 4:20 a.m. Pacific time is when so you got to get up early if you're on the Pacific.
We're going to be up early, Greg.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
I'm going to watch it on replay.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm going to watch it live, but but yeah, it's pretty exciting. So I just wanted to put that out there. Exciting. It's always a little bit scary if they're setting something like this up that's so many people spent so many years working on.
I know. What if like it goes up and we see things we didn't really want to see?
That could happen too. Yeah. There's all kinds of possibilities. But yeah, that's what's going to be.
That is interesting. I know.
So there we go. Just want to throw out one last space thing.
That's super cool to see on Christmas Day, though. That definitely is.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I almost forgot Christmas on Saturday.
I know.
Because it's been so busy.
I keep thinking it's tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I don't know why in my head it's Thursday.
Thanksgiving is Thursday, but Christmas isn't always on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know why that is stuck in my head that way, but that's what it is. But yes, Saturday is where it is. As Robin said, aliens. Maybe we'll see the aliens.
Right? I know. I feel like Robin would be okay seeing aliens because Robin likes scary things. What if they're like friendly aliens? Also, maybe. I mean, crap.
Maybe they'd be the friendly kind. I don't know. I'm also watching Invasion on Apple TV, and those ones are not friendly. So, I think it kind of depends on where you want to go with that one. But
very alien.
So I had one last thing too that I wanted to say. And I don't know if you have what else you have, Winnie, but just I'm going to recommend one movie for people to watch. And this is a PG movie. I double checked the rating. but it's a new Christmas movie that's out. It's called 8-Bit Christmas. And for anybody who is a fan of video games or even like a Christmas Story, like those kinds of movies, this is kind of along those lines. It's Neil Patrick Harris who stars. He's like narrating and telling his daughter a story about him growing up in the 80s, where the hottest item that everybody wanted was a Nintendo, the NES, the classic Nintendo Entertainment System. And, there's only one kid in town who had one. And it's basically the story of all these kids trying to figure out how they can get money or how they can win contests, what they got to do to get a hold of a Nintendo, because that's all they want. And I thought it was really cool. And just kind of funny because, that's what I wanted also.
I know. I was going to say that. It looked like a little Greg right there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought when I was looking at it. Actually, I thought I brought in my Nintendo just to show it on the air, but I wanted one so bad. So this is a movie after my own heart. But
I definitely that's a great idea. I love that. Cross-X Fighter is saying 8-Bit for Christmas. He's gonna definitely watch it. That's awesome. But can we just say also, look at how cute these kids are. Vicky, let me know if you would see. So Vicky's son is actually turning 18 on Sunday, so we should definitely wish Vicky's son a happy birthday too.
Happy birthday, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he gonna get a Nintendo?
So there we go. That was the one recommendation I had for something new to watch.
Such a cute one. Look at Greg. That was mini you, huh? Right there.
Yeah. Even at the roller rink birthday party, the roller skating rink.
How cute.
I even did that. Yeah. Skate Palace in Salem, Oregon, if anybody remembers. Anyway, yeah. I thought it was a pretty good one.
That's great. I'm gonna write that down. Like, you gave me a whole bunch to watch. I think at this point, I'm gonna definitely watch Elf, since everybody's saying it's so good.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna watch that Grinch that was like amazing Grinch. I'll watch that. And then my kids love the Home Alone series, and I mistakenly did watch Home Alone 3 and 4, and they were really, really painful. So we will watch 1 and 2 again. But
1 and 2 are great.
1 and 2 are great. What happened with 3 and 4? It's just like completely went downhill.
It's no Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, that's what happened. But I also want to share one movie that I watched with my kids recently. I thought was pretty well done. Was Ron's Gone Wrong. Was actually pretty cute for those of you who are kids. That was actually a pretty cute little movie. Yeah.
Excellent. There's one I can add on my list.
That's on, yeah. And then, let us know what you are all watching. Vicky says her son is into Xbox, unfortunately. I don't know that we would say Xbox, unfortunately, on the show. I feel like Greg is very inclusive of his love of all things tech.
Xbox is just as awesome. Yeah.
This is awesome. As Nintendo, as PlayStation. I think you'll find, if you're going to be part of the show, we're a very inclusive show. All things, all people, all walks of life, all video games.
All of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Except Home Alone 3 and 4.
Yeah. That one, sorry, we're a little bit harsh on those. But if you enjoy them, all the merrier for you.
If you haven't seen them, don't watch them. They're pretty bad. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I want to say to you, to everybody who's watching, just how much we really appreciate everybody joining us too for this show. It's so much fun, and it's fun because you're here interacting and sharing it and commenting, and it really means a lot. And that is something that I can say for both Winnie and I, very, very thankful for. So really appreciate everybody who's 100%. A part of it.
Yes. So as Greg said, so grateful, and so grateful for just the time spent with you, Greg. So happy holidays to you and your family. Merry Christmas, New Year's, or whatever you celebrate. We hope
whatever.
We're certainly going to leave something out. So we appreciate all of you. And it's we'll just say the happy holidays are about coming together as friends. And this show's my friends.
Yeah. Have a great one. And thank you, everybody. And, we'll be back soon with another episode, and everybody have a great week. Tomorrow is not Christmas. Just make note of that. I'm trying to keep that in my head. But whatever you celebrate, have a great one. And I think that's it.
And that's a wrap. So we're going to see you back in 2022, right?
Ooh.
I think that's the plan.
All right. There it is.
We'll probably be a little taller.
Will that be the case? That would change a lot for me if that were the case. You can't tell here, but I'm not a basketball player. So
yeah. Neither am I. But definitely, Joshua, Cross-X Fighters, we will promise you more strange face expressions in 2022. We'll guarantee that. And
Yes.
Vicky's son is getting older, and hopefully Robin will get her Tesla. And we adore all of you as well, Vicky. But if you didn't tell us what you want for the holidays, if you want us to give you a shout out right now, definitely put it in. This is our thank you to all of you.
Yeah, seriously. And really thank you. Yeah, to everybody. You can always write us too, on Twitter or whatever platform you're on. You can get a hold of us and direct message or email us or write us on LinkedIn, whatever it is. Always love hearing from people.
Yes, and a huge, huge thank you to our team. I want to say thank you so much to Curtis, and I know Greg, your team, everybody who's been a part of this. Thank you so much, Robin, for all the heart and help that you give to our lives to make us who we are today. We couldn't do this without each of you. So thank you so much, so much. And I know a lot of people say that on a lot of shows, but I know Greg and I really, really mean it. We really appreciate you. And actually, we do this because we love being here with you, and I just love hanging out, Greg, too. So it's pretty cool. It's just a gravy, right? Bonus.
It's just awesome. It's all so much fun.
Yeah. So stay warm, stay safe, and then I guess we'll see you very soon.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.